Alrighty, welcome everyone today to the stream. We are continuing our solo Mandy campaign of the Forgotten Age, and we are at an interlude, so we have some decisions to make here. I might give people a couple of minutes just to hop on and see if they want to help make some decisions, but otherwise I'm just gonna do it myself. So last we left off, Mandy crushed through the Doom of Etsley. We managed to play Pendant of the Queen twice in one single rotation of our deck, which was amazing. We also managed to get 3 aces plus a deduction off, which was also pretty incredible. Needless to say, that was a pretty stellar game overall. So we managed to get 4 experience, which I did spend, and I'll go over the deck changes in a minute here. But as for the interlude itself, we returned back to Arkham from the expedition in Mexico, and basically we have 2 decisions. We either let Alejandro take the relic that we found in the temple to the Miskatonic Museum, or we take it and bring it somewhere private to be inspected elsewhere. So my initial thinking was trying to forge our own path and see if we could do that. The other option is to, I think, personally side with Ichitaka. Siding with Alejandro now is probably going to be a little too difficult. If we wanted to go that route, we probably would have tried to defeat Ichitaka in the first scenario, but we didn't. We parlayed with her, so we've earned her trust. So I think it's probably going to be better to keep it hidden, I believe, because otherwise we add excuse me, we add a tablet to the bag, or if we go to the other one, it lets us choose whether or not we want to forge our own path, which I believe we want to do. So okay, so we're going to go to Expedition 3, and then from here we record in our campaign log that we gave custody of the relic to Harlan Ernstone. Oops. One thing that's kind of annoying with TTS is sometimes you can't see where the cursor is. There it is. Okay, so we gave custody of the relic to Harlan. Oops. And we record in our campaign log that Alejandro is continuing research on his own, and we do not have him in our deck, so whatever. He's a jerk anyway. Alejandro is continuing. Oops, I can spell, I swear. Is research on his own. All right, and then we proceed to Expedition 4, and then at this point, basically what happens is we're sitting in our room late one night, and out of nowhere, we see Ichitaka appear in our room, and she informs us that she has news to tell us, and then that's the start of the scenario. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So the first choice that we have to make is either ask her what's going on or just let her leave. And I think we want to ask her what's going on. Okay, so we think we need to be wary of them in order to forge our own path, if I remember correctly. I am doing a little bit of metagaming here. I apologize if that bothers anyone. Let's skip to intro 3, because we gave the relic to Harlan. So surely enough, she comes in and explains that she has a problem with Alejandro. So we can either listen to her tale or we can let her leave. And I believe letting her leave is how we forge our own path. Sorry, here, 1 second. I'm just wanting to make sure I make the right choice. Intro 6. All right, so yeah, we have to forge our own path, so we have to ignore what she says. So we will let her have her way, and we'll skip to intro 5 here. And then intro 5, she looks at her bow and slams the door on her way out. So we remember that Ichitaka left without us. And then in our campaign log, we gave the relic to Harlan, and then we proceed to intro 6, and then when she's left, we just kind of freak out, and then we should be wary of them. So we remove all of the cultist and the tablet tokens from the bag and replace them with a elder thing. There's 1 cultist in the bag currently. I'm just gonna do this and I'll just copy it. Copy, paste, bada bing, bada boom. Put those in there, delete that. All right, and then in your campaign log, record that you are forging your own path. Oops. You are forging your own path. All right. Each investigator cannot include Alejandro or Ichitaka. Anytime an investigator would be given the option to include either of them, each investigator earns 2 experience instead. So that's pretty neat. And then proceed to set up here. So I believe tabletop sets everything up properly. Let me just give it a double check here real quick. Should be only 1 of each location if I remember correctly, which it looks like there is. One thing I do remember when I initially set this up off camera is that the acts are all kind of strewn out all over the place. So you just kind of want to tidy them up a little bit. Just a personal thing, because like one of them sits over the trash and that's annoying. So if the mod of this, or the developer of this mod is watching, I know it's super low priority, but that'd be nice. Oh, that's good to know. Apparently the locations aren't properly set up. Let's check the campaign log here and make sure. Okay, so we gathered all the right encounter sets, I'm assuming. I did already pull the Relic out. We don't have Alejandro in the deck, so that doesn't matter. So you put Northside, Downtown, Easttown, Miskatonic University, Rivertown, Velma's, and the Curiosity Shop into play, and each investigator begins play in Rivertown. It's just over here. Okay, so Rivertown, Curiosity Shop, it's connected here, right? Oh no, that is wrong. Well, maybe it's not. Yeah, we'll do that. Well, that's not very helpful. Okay, so according to this, it'd be more like that would be here, would be here, like here, here, and then you just have like a row of all the other locations. So starting with Velma's on the right, Easttown next to it, downtown, going downtown. All right, downtown is, oh yeah, that is all wonky. Look at that. And then north side. Oh, so you're gonna need all of these. Yeah, look at that. That is all wonky. Oh, trust me, it'll happen. It's like impossible not to with the amount of card draw that's in this deck, which we're gonna go over that in a second. Okay, so I think that's all the locations properly set up. It looks like it. This goes like this. This goes here. It goes like this. Yeah, because that's only connected to here. Yeah, so that's kind of annoying. But that is what it is. Is this connected to here? No. So it looks like the locations are more like this. No. To turn this to a 45, there we go. And Rivertown is connected to Easttown. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, so that's connected to here. That's connected to here. Oh, and it's also connected to your house too. I was gonna say, what's that other location? And then we start play here. So I think that's correct, other than that being connected there. Okay, that looks correct. Because this isn't connected to here, so. Connected to there. It's connected to there. It's not connected to there. Okay, that looks right. That was one of the things I got pinged for in one of the scenarios I played for the league, unfortunately, was that I forget which scenario for Carcosa it was, but I set up the locations wrong like a dumbass. So we're going to try to avoid that today. For those of you just joining, we are attempting to forge our own path as well, too, for a little extra added fun. Okay, so set the town hall location. The Ichtaka. Oh, you just set all that stuff out of play, and then do the 3 acts, and then shuffle the cards. Okay, I think that's it. So the special thing about this scenario is that there's 3 act decks for us to attempt to complete. So in and of themselves, each one isn't particularly difficult, but getting all 3 is actually pretty challenging. So we're gonna try to do all 3, but obviously there's 2 that are the most important. Okay. So we just have to adjust these just to make sure. So we gave custody of the relic to Harlan. All right, so I'm just gonna put this over here for now, just so we can reference it quickly. So let's see. Remove the following Act B cards. Why is it doing that? That's ridiculous. Okay, there we go. So we want that one, right? Harlan is missing both copies of At the Exhibit. And then into one of the 2 copies of Harlan's Curse at random. There we go. Oh, there's so much setup with this. Even if you automatically do it. That's another little annoying bug too. Okay, let's see. I think I did that correctly. And the relic is missing, right? Okay, so there's Act 1. There's Act 2. And we want... No, okay. So that is correct. Jesus. So much setup. Not confusing whatsoever. Yeah, I agree. Screw Alejandro, he's a douche. Okay, so we did that. The investigators must choose one of the following options and adjust the context of the C and D act deck accordingly. If you wish to go to the police to inform them about Alejandro's disappearance, you remove the following act cards. If you wish to look for Alejandro on your own, well, knowing Mandy and our attempt to forge our own path, I feel like we're gonna probably try to look for him on our own. She's a bit of a know-it-all. She probably thinks that she's smarter. Okay, so we remove, let's see. So remove missing persons, both copies of At the Station, and one of the 2 copies of Friends in High Places. So that one gets removed. This goes bye-bye. And then one of these at random. There it goes. All right, and then adjust the E and F deck. If you listen to, which we did not, Ichitaka left without us. So we remove the Guardian's Inquiry. Both copies of Strange Relics. And then one of the Cave of Darkness. Ah, that is E, not R. There we go. All right. I think that's everything. There should be 4 in each one, if I remember correctly. And then I think that's just about it. There we go. All right, cool. Now let's put this back. All right, now we can finally start talking about the deck a little bit here. As far as experience from the last scenario goes, I did take out 1 card for a Pathfinder, and I added Studious, so that we start the game with 6 cards, which is obviously great, so we can have more cards in our hand for things like 3 aces and our segments. And just double checking the deck, make sure I didn't touch anything else, which I did not. So I ended up taking out Logical Reasoning. I think we have plenty of Horror Soak as it is, and I'm not too concerned about taking 1 or 2 extra trauma. So yeah, I think at some point I might take these No Stones out. Not sure how useful these are going to be. I think we have plenty of card draw, and these tend to be a little weak. They're also a little slow in Mandy. It's not like in Joe where you can put them in your hunch deck and play them for free at some point. You actually have to like spend resources and play them. In solo, it's a little difficult to find the actions necessary. But we'll see. I think other potential upgrades as well. Yeah, I'd agree with that too. I think Cryptic Research is probably better in this deck, especially because we have the Dream Enhancing Serum too, so we can just load up our hands with tons of cards. Yeah, I think other than that, the deck's pretty much set. I can maybe even taking out like an Easy Mark just because there's already so much resource generation, or one of these Astounding Revelations. It's tough to say. But in any case, I think we're good to go here. So let's give this deck a shuffly shuffle and draw opening hand. Ooh, so speaking of No Stoned and Easy Mark, so Old Book of Lore is cool. Easy Mark is cool. This is not so cool right now. Oh yeah, Studious. I always forget Studious. Okay, there we go. Ooh, Mr. Rook, nice, wow. That is actually pretty insane. right, so let's get rid of these, and then let's draw 3 new cards here. Oh my god, what more could we ask for? My goodness, wow. This is actually pretty nuts. Yeah, so let's see. Our first turn's probably going to be something like play Mr. Rook, use Mr. Rook, hopefully get 2 resources. If not, we can use Easy Mark. Yeah, this is pretty nuts. Let's just take a look at the board here real quick though and see what our objective is here. So we start in Old Rivertown. For anyone that's played Midnight Masks, this is the same location. Just a single clue, 1 shroud. Pretty easy for us to get a clue here. But we have plenty of objectives. So we have a Doom Threshold of 6 with an action to resign, which we're, of course, not going to do. All right, so one of our objectives is to have 2 clues in Rivertown. Another one is to have a clue spent in Easttown, and another one is to spend 2 clues at the Miskatonic University. So by investigating our location, we're already halfway to getting Trial of the Huntress. Geez. Yeah, let's just start by setting up first. So let's first action. Let's spend 3 resources to play Mr. Rook. And we'll go ahead and put 3 charges on him. And let's go ahead and start by using Mr. Rook. And then we'll use Mandy to get an additional target. And shout out to Matastrophic for showing me this little cut function here. Very nice. Oh, wow. Oh my god. That is just nuts. This card is so stupid. What is happening? Oh my god. Okay, so we have options. First, we're going to gain 2 resources. So we could just straight up take both of these, and then we'd have all 3 copies of 3 aces ready to go at any time. I could alternatively take a clue. I feel like every time I use Mr. Rook, I never find a cold evidence, and then I always end up drawing it and then complain about it. So I could do that, but I think I want the 2 resources. Yeah. So what are our... We could take Pathfinder too. This would help us move around the map very quickly, which I don't hate, and it's the only copy we have in the deck. Because we don't need 3 aces right now, and we also don't have Dream Enhancing Serum. So the 3 aces would actually take up a good amount of our hand space. So my initial thinking is to take these 2. It's to take the Pathfinder and the Easy Mark, and then shuffle everything else. It's kind of my thinking. We don't need this. We don't need these evade options, and deduction isn't very useful to us right now anyway. So I'm kind of thinking taking these 2. Because then alternatively, next action, we could gain 4 resources and draw 2 cards. And then see what else we draw for our turn. Oh. What's stronger, Pendant or Key of Ys? Key of Ys is really easy to abuse with a lot of investigators, but Pendant is pretty equally... I don't know. That's a tough say. I think Pendant, honestly, because it costs so much less experience, it's really consistent, at least in my personal experience. I mean, you've played it in Ursula. I've been playing it in this Mandy deck. I've tried it out in Joe. It works in Joe too. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to say. Like Pendant, what makes Pendant so good is that you don't even have to do any testing. Whereas with Key of Ys, while it is nice to buff all your stats, you're still having to test against the bag. So it's dependent on what difficulty you're playing at too. Whereas the Pendant just does what it needs to do, and that's just ridiculous. And it also doesn't take any actions. So it's also fast. So you don't even have to spend any actions to play anything from the pendant itself. Whereas Key of Use, you have to actually like there's some opportunity cost to it. So I could see Segment being changed in some regard too. This card is just ridiculous. But anyway, yes, let's go back to our top 8 cards here. I think I'm gonna go with the Pathfinder in the easy mark, and I think I'm gonna save the 3 aces for later. So let's draw this, and then let's second action. Let's spend 3 resources to play Pathfinder, and then last action I'm going to play easy mark. I'll gain 2 resources, whoops, and draw a card. And we draw a Shocking Discovery, which I don't believe does much of anything. Let's see, shuffle it back into your deck. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then we trigger the reaction here, and then we get to do it again. For free. So good. Oh, what? What? Oh, wow. Okay, wow. I'm just gonna whiz on by here. So there is no enemies to speak of, and then we'll go right into Upkeep. We'll gain another resource, go up to 8. Jeez, this is just nuts. And then we draw a Eureka for the turn. All right, so turn 2 here, Mythos phase. We're at 1 Doom of 6, and our encounter card for the turn, we draw Nobody's Home. We attach it to your location. If there are no clues on your location, it gains Surge. You must spend 1 additional action to investigate. That's annoying. Well, thankfully we have a bajillion ways to save us a bunch of actions. All right, so that's not too bad. So we're still in Rivertown, 1 Shroud. We could just spend 2 clues, or spend 2 actions rather. I'm debating on whether or not I want to use Mr. Rook first. I think I do. I want to find Dream Enhancing Serum, but I also want to investigate. So I think I'm going to use Mr. Rook after I investigate. So let's investigate, and I think I'm going to hold on to this Eureka for now. So we're just going to test a 1v5 here. Chaos Spike says -3. Very nice. So we get this clue. We're halfway to 1 objective here. I'm also trying to hurry up too, because we do want to complete all of the act decks if possible. So this will go away, and we have 1 action left with our turn. Let's now use Mr. Rook. Let's again look at the top 9. Like, we've already looked through half our deck. This is so ridiculous. And then we're going to use Mandy. So we're going to take 2 cards here. But we do find the Shocking Discovery. So that will unfortunately put a damper on in those plans. And then we have to draw an encounter card here. Oh, we draw an Acolyte. So this might be the one thing that kills us, is that we don't really have a good way of killing small enemies like the Acolytes, unfortunately. So we'd either have to use something like 3 aces to just kill them outright. Yeah, 3 aces punch, or we'd just have to commit a lot of icons, which I don't really think we have. I think there's like got a plan in the deck, but that's again also contingent on things going well as well. So let's just take a double look here. So we need 1 clue in Easttown, 2 clues at Miskatonic and at Rivertown. So I think I'm gonna stick them here in the Miskatonic University, because we're gonna go here anyway. So we still have 1 action left. We could we could like Pathfinder, move, investigate, which I don't hate. So let's I'm gonna save that enemy until we actually have a means of killing it, but for now I think I'm gonna go into Easttown. No, let's see. Let's go to downtown. All right, 3 Shroud, 1 Clue. And then let's investigate here too. And we will not commit this. I think we'll just hold on to this for now. So let's investigate 3 versus 5 here. All right, well, that's fair. I know I've been cheating the game, so the game feels like it needs to cheat me now. That's fine. All right, so enemy phase. That guy stays where he is, and then we'll move right into upkeep here. Ready your stuff, gain a resource, and we'll draw Cold Evidence. I'm telling you, every time I just draw this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 1 more card in our hand, and then let's move into Mythos phase of turn 3 here. All right, so there is currently 3 Doom. There's 1 on that cultist enemy, and we draw a Night Gaunt. Ooh. I forgot how many enemies are in this scenario. All right, so the Hunting Night Gaunt is a 3 combat, 4 health, 1 evade enemy with Hunter, and while attempting to evade the Night Gaunt, double the negative modifier for each revealed Chaos token. Ugh. I'm assuming it means double the number, not the actual modifier, because that wouldn't make any sense. But that's fine. Okay, let's go into investigation phase. What do we want to do here? So we could evade. We could use slip away and try to keep it tied down for a couple turns. We could just try to use Eureka and go that way with it. There's a couple options. I kind of like the option of slip away, because this thing's going to be a huge pain in the ass for us. So getting a couple of turns to just evade it seems pretty good. So I think I'm going to do that. Plus we're doubling our modifier because of the stupid ability on this thing. So starting at an 8 evade seems pretty good. So let's go AV1 here. Chaos Bag says... oh my god. Damn it. Of course. Alright, well, that sucks. Alright, let's use Mr. Rook now. Let's see what he can find for us. We'll cut our deck, and let's give it a search here. Alright, ooh, a decoy. That's a good option. It's not the best. And of course we're using Mandy's ability too. So we could take both segments, and then we could just evade it. That seems pretty stupid. So let's just do that. This is so dumb. This is why it's just so good, especially with Mandy. So I've assembled Exodia, and Exodia transforms into Pendant. And then Pendant enters play with 3 resources on it. And then we'll go ahead and make sure we give our deck a shuffle. This is just dumb. Okay, so we don't even have to spend, like, this is what I'm talking about. You don't even have to spend an action on it. So we're just going to choose our location for this ability. Then we're going to exhaust it and spend a charge, and we're just going to evade this guy because I hate him. I hate him. Okay, so we're at a 3 Shroud location. We need clues. So let's use our second action to investigate. I think I want to commit this just to get it into my discard pile, and then we could potentially shuffle it back in later. Let's do that. Let's go 3 up. We're gonna test 3v6 here. Chaos Spec says -1. Very nice. We'll get this. All right, so we have the 2 clues that we need for that 1 objective. So we can now use Pathfinder. Whoops. We can use Pathfinder to move in back into Rivertown here. And then we don't even need to spend an action, I believe, to do that. I believe it's just do it. Yep, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this. So we're gonna spend our 2 clues. And we find the Black Cave. All right, so it gets put into play. I'm assuming we just... Oh, it actually has connection markers. Look at that. RTFC, right? So it's connected there. All right, that's fine. We can manage that. So it is a 3 Shroud, 2 clue location, and at the end of your turn, if you're in the Black Cave, you must either take a horror or choose and discard 2 cards from your hand. Oh, well, that's just going to be a breeze, because we're just going to go in there and snag 2 clues and run out. Well, that's cool. Okay, so what's our new objective here? So only investigators in the Black Cave can spend the requisite number of clues if there are no clues remaining on the Black Cave. Oh, there must be no clues on the Black Cave in order to advance. Okay, so basically you have to go to the Black Cave and discover all the clues there. Well, that's not so bad. So we spent these clues. We have an action left. We don't want to move in there this turn. We could get our old Book of Lore down. I'm not even sure how necessary this is. We don't want to move in. We don't want to move into this cultist location just yet. That's not really that useful either. We could spend an action to move into Easttown, which isn't the best either. This guy's gonna ready during the enemy phase, unfortunately. Yay. So let's see. I kinda like the idea of sorry, I just got an email about my stupid hole in the ceiling. I like the idea of just drawing a card as well. I think if we're gonna do that, we just play Old Book of Lore. Yeah, let's just do that. Last action, we'll spend 3 resources and play the Old Book of Lore. And that's our 3 actions, so we'll move into enemy phase here, and this Night Gaunt will unfortunately ready. This cultist will sit around and be annoying with his doom. And let's go ahead and move into Upkeep. Let's ready all of our stuff here. And let's draw a resource. Draw a card and gate a resource. And we draw a second Eureka. All right, well, at least now we have things to do with Mandy's ability. The other ridiculous thing about this is that we could just move all the way across the map, go immediately to the location we need to go to, and then find it again. Okay, but let's move into Mythos phase here. This is turn 4. We have 4 Doom of 6, and let's see what we get here. We get a false lead. Aha, we have no clues. So that gains Surge, and then we surge into the secret must be kept. Peril, which is not relevant in solo. Revelation test willpower 3. If you fail, take a damage and a horror for each act the investigators have completed. This skill test gets +1 difficulty and deals +1 damage and +1 horror. Okay, so it just deals 1 and 1 currently, and let's I'm okay with just taking a damage and a horror. We can let Mr. Rook take some damage. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that. So let's just test 3v3 here. Ooh, and we get a 0. Look at that, even better. Bada bing, a bada boom. Very nice. Let's get our 3 actions here, and let's move into the investigation phase. That Night Gaunt is still hanging out there, unfortunately. So it's probably better to get all the act decks very close to completion, and then complete them kind of all at once. Just so you don't have to deal with treachery cards like that. So, okay, so we could like Pathfinder in here, investigate to 2 clues. I guess it'd be investigate, and then move back, and that'd be our turn. Alternatively, we could like Pathfinder here, investigate, advance. Or alternatively, we could try to deal with this guy, but I think think we're gonna go with Matastroffic's punch it with 3 aces plan. So let's, I think I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna do that. We're gonna use Pathfinder. First action is going to be to investigate, and I'm gonna commit this Eureka. So it's gonna be for 6, and I believe it's a 3 Shroud. 3 Shroud, yep. So 3v6 here, Chaos Bag says. Oh my god. It's the 3rd time already this game. I see how it's gonna be. Alright, we will attempt to investigate again. Let's commit Eureka again. And Chaos Bag says -5. Wow. Okay. Okay. It really does not want us to do any of this. I don't really want to discard cards from my hand. It's either that or take horror, correct? Take a horror or I can take a horror. That's not a big deal. I can let Mr. Rook take a horror. Man, that was brutal. I don't really want to use Pendant just yet. Because I could, let's see. Well, let's just investigate one more time. Let's go 3v5. Let's just see what we get. We get a skull. Skull is X, or X is the highest number of doom on a cultist, which is currently a 1. So that's a -1. So we do get a clue. So we could just use the pendant to get the other clue. And then alternatively, when the stupid Night Gaunt comes back, we can Pathfinder evade. And then this will go back into our deck, which I don't hate, but I'd like to find 3 aces first, which is kind of why I'm holding off on that. Because we could always wait until next turn. Because we're going to take a horror, I think, regardless. So let's just do that. We're not going to waste this yet. So we'll go ahead and just move into enemy phase here. And this Night Gaunt's going to move, unfortunately. That Acolyte is going to hang out there, and then we'll move into Upkeep. 3 resources and a card here. And we draw a deduction a turn late, unfortunately. It's probably for the best, all things considered. Considering that we drew a tentacle and then a -5, that was stupid. Oy vey. Alright. Turn 5 here. We have 5 Doom of 6, and we draw a Hunting Shadow. We must either spend a clue or take 2 damage. Oh, sorry, pal. So tragic. I don't know what happened, Mr. Rook. Alright. Jokes aside. Let's move into investigation phase. Let's spend our first action to investigate 3v5. Yeah. 3v5, Chaos Bag says. Wow! Are you kidding me? Oh my god. What the hell? Okay, so the thing that sucks about this now, like, it doesn't cost us an action to move and evade that enemy. But it does cost us our pendant charge, which is arguably even better. So I think I have one more action to try this. I think I do. Yeah, because then I can use an action to move. All right, so we're gonna just try this again. 3v5. Aha! Yes, there we go. -2. We do not fail. Oh, suck on that. All right, and then we're at the Black Cave. We could choose to advance. I'm not sure if that's necessary. Yeah, so many. So many -5s and tentacles in this game. So I'm thinking, so if we wanna, we're definitely gonna move. I'm debating on whether or not I want to advance now. If I advance now, I haven't played this in so long. I don't even remember what happens. Yeah. I think we want to just advance. So let's just do that. Let's spend our 2 clues and let's go up here and let's advance the Cave of Darkness. We track Ichitaka through the cave, echoing her movements closely while remaining hidden. She traverses the cavern with the expertise of a natural explorer, discovering paths you haven't noticed at first. To your surprise, the dark tunnels ramp upward, taking you closer to the surface. You hear Ichitaka open and close something metallic up ahead. When you catch up, you find a heavy iron gate above you, leading into the basement of a building north of the cave entrance. Put the set-aside town hall location into play. If it's not already in play, remember that the town hall is Ichitaka's destination. For the remainder of the game, Black Cave and town hall are connected to one another. So that's pretty neat. There's the town hall location, okay. And one at a time in player order, each investigator discards the top card in the encounter deck. Each investigator who discards a treachery must draw that card and advance to strange occurrences. Okay, so this goes here. Well, I guess it technically goes here, but it's also connected here. Well, that's neat. Okay. And then we advance to the town hall, or strange occurrences rather. Well, you are at any of Ichitaka's destinations. The first treachery you draw. Oh my goodness. The first treachery you draw from the encounter deck each round gains surge. Ugh. So we need to be at the town hall, get the clues, and then we advance. Okay, so we can do that. So we just have to remember that the town hall is Ichitaka's destination. We have 1 action left before the agenda is going to advance. Let's see here. What are our options? We can move in with Pathfinder. We could move here with Pathfinder alternatively, which I don't think we want to do. Oh, I also have to discard the top card of the encounter deck. Oops. And it was a treachery, so I have to draw this, if I remember correctly. I almost just cheaty McCheatied there. Oh goodness. It was this one. Yes, each player discards the top card of the encounter deck. Each investigator who discards a treachery must draw it. Okay. So yeah, we have to draw that. Shadowed. Alright, so Shadowed, if there are no cultist enemy in play, take a horror and a gain surge. Otherwise, find the cultist nearest to you, place a doom on it, and test willpower X. X is that enemy's fight value, which is a 3. So we have to test willpower 3, and if we fail, we have to take a horror. Okay, that's take 2 horror. Gross. That's fine. Wow. Okay. Why can't I draw these zeros when I'm like trying to do investigates? Come on. Hey, vey. I'd rather just take 2 horror and move on with my life. All right, so let's do this silly nonsense again with the pendant. Let's use Pathfinder to move. This thing will engage us. We will say no. We're gonna choose our location. We're gonna spend a clue or spend a charge. And we are going to automatically evade an enemy at our location because that's really dumb. And then we're going to use our last action here to move into Easttown. Easttown is a 2 Shroud 1 clue location, and while you're at Easttown, you reduce the cost of each ally asset you play by 2. Ooh. Mr. Rook, just what he needs, a buff. All right, let's move into enemy phase here before I cheaty McCheaty. We will ready this guy. This guy will hang out here, and then we will move into Upkeep. I will gain a resource going up to 4, and we'll draw a card for the turn, and we draw a decoy. There we go, something to spend our resources on. We'll get our 3 actions back, move into Mythos phase of turn 6, and the agenda will now advance. 2 Doom is removed off this enemy. And let's see what happens here. The town is bustling as noon comes and goes. University students travel from class to class. Business people take breaks from their busy office lives. And at East Town, Velma's Diner is abuzz with a lunch rush. Despite this veil of normality, the curtain has been lifted. You see through this town of... You see this town for what it really is. An endless mire of secrets. Ooh. How scary. So shuffle the encounter deck into the discard pile. If there are only 2 acts in play, you place a Doom on to A as it is revealed. Well, we have not done that. We are smart. All right. So this goes away. That was pretty mild. 6 Doom threshold with the same action to resign. So let's draw our encounter card for the turn here, and we draw a locked door. That is not fun. So this gets attached to our location. So I believe our location is the one with the most clues on it, which it is. And our location cannot be investigated unless we pass a stupid test. Well, that is annoying. All right, puts a bit of a damper on my plans here. Yeah, I mean, Lola Santiago is good in every deck. Okay, so we have some options here. We could probably use this. Use the Snowstone Unturned to try to find 3 aces. And try to go here and do this. Alternatively, we could move here. Oh, this is tough. Yeah, because we can't investigate because there's a locked door here. So we'd have to pass that test, which we're not particularly good at doing. We could go 1 up with decoy, but I think I'd like to save that if possible. Alternatively, we could try to go here, but again, we need 3 aces to punch. So it sounds like we just need to get some cards in our hand. So I think with my first action, I'm going to spend 2 resources here, and let's go ahead and look at the top 6 and draw 2. And there we go. I mean, we're looking at more than half of what's left in our deck. Okay, so we found Revelation. So we'll go ahead and get 2 resources. So there's another Mr. Rook, which is really good. Mr. Rook, we could play for 1 resource. We could take a second 3 aces, which would be good too. This is so good. All right, let's take the second 3 aces too. Wow, so Mr. Rook is going to be able to look through our entire deck at this point. All right, yes. So we're going to draw this, and we're going to draw this as well. All right. Yeah, and it's so good. So we're going to spend 1 resource, remembering that we are at a location that reduces our allies' cost by 2, which is Y. And then we'll go ahead and use a charge of Mr. Rook to look at our entire deck. We did already use Mandy, so we only get to get 1 card, but where's my weakness? Should be a 13th vision in there. Oh crap, I didn't shuffle these cards back in the deck. When I did my initial mulligan, I was like, where's my one-ofs? Yay. Okay, well, crap. That changes things. I was like, where's my weakness? Oh, shit. Okay, I think that was the 3 cards I mulliganed. It was definitely... Oh, no, I think it was also this Snowstone Unturned as well. Crap. Okay, so this all should have been in the deck. Hold on. Please hold the phone while I fix this. All right. Let's do this correctly. Let's not cheat for once in our life. Okay. There we go. I was gonna say, we gotta at least draw our weakness here. All right, so we could get the last 3 ace, which would be nice. Yeah, I think other than that, because we're just gonna use Mr. Rook next turn as well. So now that we have our second Mr. Rook, now I'm kind of thinking we can ditch this pendant. I mean, we could have probably ditched it because we had this too, but this is much slower. So let's draw this. So we have 3 aces, so now we can punch the cultist. We could pass this as well. That is also an option, but admittedly it's much less appealing. So let's see here. Alternatively, we could Pathfinder move. I like Pathfinder evade move. Does that sound stupid? Like Pathfinder evade? No, I think if I'm gonna do that, I'm just gonna go here. Right, I'll go there with Pathfinder. And then let's just go here into Northside. 3 Shroud, 2 clues. Spend 5 resources to gain 2 clues from the token bank group limit once per game. Victory 1. Okay, so we want to investigate this location for sure. All right, yeah, so our last action was to move. So enemy phase. Let's resolve enemy phase here. Shift 3, oops, shift 2. This guy is moving here. And then let's go into Upkeep and ready your stuff. Gain a resource and draw a card. Draw Unexpected Courage. Let's go into Mythos of turn 7 here. And we get 1 Doom of 6. And our encounter card for the turn is a wizard. Ugh, gross. All right, we gotta deal with this guy. This guy sucks. So he spawns at any empty location. He has Retaliate, and at the end of the Mythos phase, he has to place a Doom on him. Oh, this guy sucks. All right, where is he gonna go? He has to go at an empty location. So he could go in the town hall, and I could try to kill him there. Alternatively, I could just try to race him. So we're at 2 Doom currently. Next turn would be at 3. We'd be at 4, and then 6, and then go away, and then he like cuts. This guy sucks. One thing I could see playing in this 3 aces deck is double or nothing. If you really wanted to go that route. I'd also see Practice Makes Perfect going into this deck, if you wanted to do that as well. But I haven't liked Practice Makes Perfect, particularly because I'm usually wanting to, excuse me, hold on one second, my wife's calling. Hold on one second, guys. All right, sorry about that. I just got a phone call from my wife there real quick. All right, so let's see here. We are in the beginning of our turn. We have deduction, which is nice, so we could go 6v3 here. We could commit this unexpected courage as well, just to make sure we pass over the -5, right? Let's see, that would put 6, 8, yeah. So that'd be enough to go over the -5. So let's do that. Let's commit these 2 cards. I'm thinking about getting rid of this too, but with so few cards left in my deck, I kind of want to wait until I shuffle again. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. So first action is going to be to investigate 3v8. And we draw a -3. Very nice. So we get both of these clues and a victory point, which is pretty swank. So yeah, we got a problem with that stupid wizard. This guy here, this guy's gonna put a damper in our plans, to say the least. We have 3 aces, so we can punch this guy finally. I also don't hate just evading him for the turn that we need to go in here. Well, I don't have double or nothing. I know, which is stupid, because I just like forgot about it. And I was like, oh, well, that won't be super useful. It's like, what am I gonna do with it? Just get 1 clue? But in this one particular circumstance, it would be very useful. I got a plan would also be pretty useful too. I could just like go in and just nuke him. This guy sucks. What the hell? We're gonna have to figure out something to do with this guy. I really could have sworn ahead I got a plan in the deck. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have to, unfortunately. Rushing through, I'm just trying to think, like, rushing through the scenario, we're gonna have to go here, go to the town hall, and we're gonna have to figure out, get the clue, and figure out how to get the clues here. So we have 3 aces to do that. We could move in here, evade, like spend the clues, investigate, and go from there. Let's start by moving. This enemy will engage in a second here. So Miskatonic University is a 4-shroud 2-clue location that has an action that lets you search the top 6 cards of your deck for a tome or spell and add it to your hand. Man, if I was playing Mystic Mandy, that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be sweet with Mandy, because then you could get 2 targets. Oh man. Mandy, why are you so good? Okay, so we could just evade this for free. So we could evade, get a couple clues. It's a 4-shroud, so we'd actually have to like commit something. I don't. We have 8 cards left in our deck. We have 2 charges of Mr. Rook left. Let's see. Let's see what we have left in our deck here. That's useful. We do have Elusive, I believe, left in the deck. Yeah, Elusive is in the deck still. Should be 1 copy of Decoy. No. Geez. Should be better at this. Let's just use this and evade. So this will go away, and then these 3 cards will go back into the deck. Okay, so this guy is evaded. There's 2 clues on this location. Let's use Mr. Rook. And let's see what we get here. We're gonna search 9 and get 2. Oops, not search the whole deck. I mean, pretty much the whole deck, but not actually the whole deck. Okay, so we'll cut this to 9, and let's see what we get here. Okay, so there is the Elusive. There's the one Hawkeye folding camera. Oh, there's the mind over matter. Okay, so that's how we kill him. This is how we kill the that guy there, is that we just pass 2 tests, unfortunately. Which really sucks, but I think that's probably the best way to do it. So we could just take 2 segments here, which I'm not against. So if we take 2, and then next turn we can get another one, and then we can just try to rush through the scenario. So yeah, let's just do that. So I think we're gonna be all in on pendant rushing. So we have 3 aces. We have 2 actions. I don't really have a good way of boosting my intellect. That's this 4 Shroud location. How many? We need 2 clues to advance, and we have the 2 clues. But I want to get to 2 clues off this location because it's a victory point. And I don't think we have... Well, we do have another deduction in the deck, so we could try to fish for it next turn. Let's spend our 2 clues in advance first, and let's see what's really going on here. So we'll advance. So he gets put into play in East Town, and then you can spend an action to discard the top 3 cards of your deck to parlay with him. You try to snap him out of his daze, so you have to test willpower 4, and if you succeed, you place a clue on him from the token bank. And our objective is to put a clue on him, so... Okay, so let's put him in East Town. That place we can't investigate. And let's take a second here. So that willpower 4 test is also a bit of a sticky wicket. So I think that's worth 3 acesing. 3. We could. Let's just see. Let's check the map here. Okay, so our turn could be, like move, evade, move, and then this guy would come in. Alternatively, we could move, get caught. I don't hate move, get caught. That's not the worst. I'd really like to get these 2 clues too. So we know there isn't any other weaknesses left in our deck, so when we Mr. Rook next turn, we're just gonna get what we want. So we could be greedy and try to go for the clues this turn. We could try to just get rid of this and deal with it next go. There's choices. Choices. I think for now, what I want to do is just investigate once and see what happens. So let's go 4v5 here and get a -3. Okay. So I'm just trying to think, like, if we're rushing this scenario, we probably want to get here as fast as humanly possible. So like we could even use Pendant next turn to just move there. That's not a bad, so that's not a bad idea either, right? So if we use Pendant to move us to that location, it would move the Acolyte as well. And then we could more safely investigate this location. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna move though. Let's move for now. Let's go there. Okay, so enemy phase, this guy's gonna come at me and hit me. Oh, rather he's gonna hit Mr. Rook. Guy's such a nice guy. And then this guy will ready, and this guy will do that at the end of Mythos phase. Let's go into Upkeep here. Let's gain a resource and draw a card. Draw a second decoy. So we have 2 decoys, 2 segments, and 3 aces. Pretty sweet hand, I would say myself. And let's ready our stuff here. So this has not been very useful of a card, this old Book of Lore. All right, turn 8. Let's see what we got for Doom here. We're at 2/3 Doom of 6, and our encounter card is a Hunting Shadow. Gross. So we either have to spend a clue or take 2 damage. So we are unfortunately taking 2 damage. Okay, that's not as fun. Let's use Mr. Rook. Let's move into investigation phase. Let's spend the last charge of our Rook. Let's search our deck for 2 cards. Let's get this segment. Let's get this deduction. Do we want the deduction or do we want... So I could get the Mind Over Matter. Elusive's not bad either. I think this Hawkeye folding camera is pretty much just a will icon at this point. The deduction lets me get clues hopefully faster. I think those are the cards I'm gonna take. I think at this point we don't need the serum. All right, so we've got all this situated. Let's go ahead and spend 3 resources to play all these segments. To put this pendant back into play. We will do this again. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. This is like, it's so dumb. Once you get really low on your deck and you have another Mr. Rook ready, you can just find these segments so quickly. Okay. So alternatively, we could just use this to move and then parlay and just ignore this entirely. Let's see, so if we evade it here, we'd have to spend an action to move because we'd Pathfinder for free. And then we'd parlay. So it'd be 1, 2 actions to parlay and then go back. Alternatively, if we do it here, move, and then we'd have to use another card. Okay, let's do that. Let's first charge, choose our location to evade this Night Gaunt. We're gonna do that. This guy will be evaded. We're gonna use Pathfinder to move here, and we're gonna use our first action for the turn to move here. And then second action, we will parlay. Whoops. There we go. Just so you guys can see it. So we're gonna attempt to do this. So we have to discard 3 cards off our deck, which I think I didn't shuffle. So we discard 3 cards off our deck. We discarded No Stone Unturned, a Hawkeye folding camera, and a Mind Over Matter. And then we parlay, and we're going to use 3 aces. And we're going to automatically succeed, and we're going to draw the rest of our deck. And we succeed, so we place a clue on them, and then we must immediately advance. So let's gain 3 resources and draw 3 cards. So we draw our 2 Dream Enhancing Serums and our copy of Elusive. And then I believe we have to immediately advance. Yes. So we must remove them and immediately advance. Okay. Shoop. Oh, he turns into an enemy. How rude. Harlan Ernstone, crazed by the curse. He's a 4 fight, 2 health, 3 evade enemy. Humanoid, cursed elite. Revelation, switch this card with the bystander version of it. Removing that version of the game. Attach the relic to him and advance to 3A, recover the relic. While Relic of Ages is attached to an enemy, that enemy gets +2 health, gross. And if the Relic of Ages is attached, if the enemy, the relic is attached to least play, you advance. Ugh, so he has 4 health, that's obnoxious. So after you successfully evade by 3 or more, you add him to the victory display. Ooh, okay. So that's a possibility. We could try to arrange that. Okay. Oy vey. So this guy goes away. Huh. Okay. Well, that complicates things. It was move Parlay. So we have one action left this turn. So we could commit both of these. I don't hate that. We'd get them back into our deck. I'm gonna try it. Let's try last action evade. Do I want to commit this too? That'd give me 5 icons? I think I do. Yes, I think I do. All right, so we're gonna push 5 icons into this. It's gonna be 5v8. Chaos Bag says, oh, yes. Wow, that was so lucky. Yes, yes, excellent. Excellent. Evade him and you get added to the victory display. And this relic is sitting here all by its wee lonesome. Oh, that was glorious. Oh, chat, that was glorious. The glorious evade by 3 or more because we drew a +1. Oh, so good. So good. All right, so the relic was attached to Harlan. The investigator nearest Harlan takes control of the relic. Remove this act from the game if another act is in play, otherwise resolution 1. All right. So we at least found Nathaniel and the relic. Objective 1 complete. Nice. All right. I don't think I remembered to add a doom to that cultist at the end of the Mythos phase, so he should have a doom on him. Okay, enemy phase. Whoops, not upkeep, enemy. Enemy phase here. This guy will ready. This guy will hang out. This guy will hang out. All right. 1 objective down. Nice. So we know one of our objectives is to go into the town hall and get the clues from the town hall. With having the deduction in our hand, I think that's made pretty easy. We have 2 charges left on our pendant. We have another Mr. Rook going into the deck, and we have a Mr. Rook being used as soak. Unfortunately, we will have to take a horror. So I'm not sure which happens first, if you have to take the horror and then draw a card, or if you draw a card and then take a horror. But I'm going to assume it happens like this, so I don't get to put Mr. Rook back into my deck. Because let's be honest here, it's not like I needed him anyway at this point. All right, so we gained a resource up to 6. We drew a card, which is a copy of 3 aces. So we now have 2 Dream Enhancing Serums and a deduction in our hand. We still have this 13th Vision in play, which we might want to get rid of. Let's ready our stuff. We will push 1, and we will go into turn 9 here. Oops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 doom of 4, 5, I believe, of 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6, and our encounter card for the turn is a Hunting Shadow. Oh, what the hell? So we either have to spend a clue or take damage. Ow. Okay, well, we might just die. Unfortunately, that would suck. All right, so we have some things to do. We can't investigate here. We got to get here. We have to get here as well. So we could Pathfinder move. Investigate? I like that plan. Let's Pathfinder move. The Town Hall is a 4 Shroud, 1 clue location. After you enter Town Hall, if you have 4 or more cards in your hand, choose and discard a card from your hand until you have 3 cards in your hand. Bye-bye, Dream Enhancing Serum. Haha, yes. How do you like that, game? How do you like me now, game? Let's not forget to add a Doom to this wizard. Okay, so we have 3 cards in hand, 4 Shroud, 1 clue, victory 1. Ugh. Okay, we just have this relic hanging out here. I mean, we could just do this. think we could just use Pendant to get that clue for free and move on. I didn't realize it was only going to be one clue. That seems rather silly. Yeah, we're going to do that. Let's get that clue for free. Yoink. Let's then advance. Yeah, so we'll just advance here. Her destination was the town hall. Let's see. The nearest investigator to the town hall takes control of the set-aside Ichtaka and removes the E and F act from the game. Well, I believe that means I get 2 extra experience. Because we do not get to gain control of Ichtaka. So that's sweet. So I'm just going to put this in the victory display to remind me of that. And now we got to find Alejandro, whatever the hell he's doing. So we have 2 actions left with our turn. This has been quite a productive turn for us. We need to make sure that we don't get hit by another enemy. So we can't just stay in downtown here. Alternatively, we could stay here for a turn, as we don't have to deal with the treachery card gaining surge now that we've gotten rid of that. And we need to get here. So, I would also like to get the 2 clues off the Miskatonic University, but I don't know. It might be that might be a little too greedy at this point. We've already gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 victory points. So it's pretty good. And it looks like we're going to be able to complete all 3 of these. We could, so let's see, we could move and then move here and try our hand at doing this. Alternatively, we could play Serum and just try to go ham on that. Like we could use Serum and use Old Book of Lore to try to rebuild. Which I don't hate the sounds of that either, actually. Let's do that. Let's spend 3 resources here. Let's play the Dream Enhancing Serum, and then with our last action, let's use Old Book of Lore. Let's, oh, how many cards do I want to look at? There's 22 cards in my deck. I think I'm going to look at 6 and draw 1. The reason why is because if I get a 3 aces, I get to draw a card anyway off the Serum. I unfortunately don't, but I do find an easy mark, which is nice. Oh, man, if only I'd done that first. God damn it. I could have gotten that clue for free with that without spending the charge. That's okay. Yeah, it's a little flub on my part. I should have done that first. So alternatively, I could take Decoy. Decoy would let me dodge for free as well. So I could like just use this to move. What do I want? I think I want to get... Part of me wants to get Decoy for the 2 icons to break the door. Also helps me evade the stupid cultist so I can get 2 clues off that location. So like this unexpected courage is pretty much nothing. These easy marks are tempting, but I think I'd rather draw them in pairs. No stone is tempting too, just because it lets us dig deeper. I think I'm gonna grab Decoy. Yeah. So I'll take this Decoy, and that'll be my turn. So let's move into enemy phase here. This Night Gaunt will move. The other 2 enemies will not move, and then we'll move right into Upkeep here. The 4 resources, and my 4th card is the Occult Evidence. I swear, I just shuffled this deck. Are you kidding me? Okay, so Mythos phase, turn 10. The or the agenda will advance. There's 3 Doom on this wizard, whoops, as well as 4 Doom here. All right, so we shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. If there are only 2 acts in play, you place a Doom on it. If there's only 1 act, you place 2 Doom on it. Probably should have waited a turn to advance, but it is what it is. I think I can probably do this in a couple turns, honestly. So I could go there, get a clue, advance, go wherever it needs me to go, because I have a stupid broken thing that lets me just go wherever I want. And then go from there. All right, so let's ready our stuff here. Let's move into drawing an encounter card. And we draw a secret must be kept. So we have to test willpower 3. If not, we die. Okay. Well, crap. Not the encounter deck, anything but that, please. Well, let's definitely commit this. Oh, crap. For each act deck, this gets +1 difficulty and deals +1 damage. Are you kidding me? I needed Mr. Rook. Oy vey. I might have to just commit this 3 ace for an icon. Oh, that feels terrible. I think I have to, though. Because if I have to draw a 0, otherwise I die. Because I don't have any other icons. And now this decoy's looking like shit in my hand. Yeah. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Let's just hope. Oh no, and I'd fail if I draw a 0, so I have to draw exactly a +1. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I don't have any other icons. No, are you kidding me? No, I still die. This sucks. No. Come on. Game, you're killing me. You're busting my chops here, man. Come on. Come on. So we had committed these 2 cards. That would have been 5. So we had to test willpower 3. And it gets +1 difficulty and deals +1 damage and horror if it's failed. Yeah. And we've oh my god damn it, dude. No. God damn it. So we have just not enough soak. Well, this sucks. Oh, I would take a physical trauma from that. That's awful. God damn it. Man, we were so close too. It would have been nothing. We would have just gone here. We could have, let's see, we could have just moved to this location. We would have had to have tested that. We would have gone 1 up on that. Easily have investigated this. Oh, dude, that sucks. God damn it. Getting killed by the encounter deck. Because it doesn't want me to have any fun. Alright, well, let's see what we get for a resolution here. We still managed to get 2 of those done, so I mean that's pretty good, I would say. Okay, so let's see if no resolution was reached. Read resolution 1. Okay. A bunch of flavor text about the nexus of Nakai, and then it talks about going back to uncharted territory. That sounds fun. Let's see if Act 3B was completed. We found the missing relic. The relic is not already part of an investigator's deck. We must include it. Card, blah, blah, blah. For the remainder of the campaign, anytime the owner of the relic leaves the campaign, choose another investigator for that, for the relic to go into. Okay, so we recovered the relic. We did not rescue Alejandro, unfortunately. Man, we could have gotten that 3rd one if we had just passed that test. We drew a 0, like just taunting us like an asshole. All right, so Alejandro's missing. Good, I didn't like him anyway. Douche. And then let's see here. And if Act 3F was completed, which it was, the investigators forged a bond with Ichitaka. And any investigator may choose to include them in the deck, but we cannot. So Alejandro is missing, and we forged a bond with Ichitaka. Ichitaka. All right, the lead investigator earns the Expedition Journal. Ooh, exciting. I believe that card's actually really good. Ooh, yes, you may take an additional action during your turn, which can be used to explore. That is very exciting. So I definitely want that in my deck. We get the Relic back in our deck as well. So that's pretty cool. And then we move on to the supply point. Each investigator earns experience equal to X. Each investigator earns 1 additional experience for each act that was completed. So I would earn 2. 2 extra experience, plus the 1 from that, plus the 2 from Ichitaka. And then let's check our locations here. So we have the Black Cave, which is worth 1. We have North Side, which is worth another 1, and the Town Hall. So that's another 3. Nice. We got 8 experience. Wow. I do not remember that ever having so much experience. Okay, either way. All right, so we have to proceed to the resupply point. So I'm trying to remember here. And chat, help me out here. So let's see. So gas, I remember gasoline being pretty useful. I remember, is it the pocket knife? Is that the one that lets you deal with the Apex Strangler? Let's see what we have. So we have the binoculars. We still have medicine, as we surprisingly didn't get poisoned. So that was nice. We have the map. We don't get the map anyway. We have torches, which I don't think are much help anyway. What do we need, chat? What do we need? There's some random stuff, I think. Like one of them you need chalk. For sure gas, yeah. So we have 8 points to spend. So one point is being spent in gasoline. The blanket is useless, right? I think everyone's so definitely gasoline. Do I get 2 gasoline? I think there's a point where you need gas twice, right? There's one at the beginning of a scenario and then one at the end. And I have the rope. No, I don't have the rope. You need the rope for depths too, right? The rope is how you, or at least it makes it easier. Oh man, there's so many choices. Provisions is useless. I have medicine. Blanket's useless. Canteen's probably useless. That's only useful when you go back into Heart of the Elders, right? The pickaxe is for something, right? That's for is that for depths too? So let's see. So we're definitely getting gas. Gasoline. Am I getting gasoline times 2 or just gasoline times 1? Oh, we took a physical trauma, unfortunately. But yeah, so let's take pickaxe. So that's, so far that's 3 points. So we have 5 points left. No, chalk is... And chalk is for City of Archives, isn't it? Don't you? You need chalk to complete one of the objectives there, don't you? Or am I misremembering that? So we could take pickaxe. Or sorry, we could take the pocket knife. That would be 5 points, and then that'd leave us with 3. I thought the chalk was for some reason. Oh no, that's no, is that Boundary? Or is that Heart of the Elders? Where that's useful. It's the one where you go back into the cavern. I think it's useful for one of those scenarios. Forged a bond. Oh my goodness. Dude, when am I gonna learn to type? Let's take the pocket knife. All right, so that's 2, 4, 5 points so far. Okay, so kind of thinking about taking another gasoline. So we could take gasoline and the compass. Is the compass useful? I don't. Oh God, why do I not remember this? Why would I want to spend 5 experience to remove trauma? That's silly. Like we could take a provision to just because we have the point to remove a trauma, which isn't terrible. But I like taking a mental trauma is not the end of the world. And like we already have binoculars and the can't like we've already ruled out pretty much everything else. So it's between compass and chalk. And I don't know why I'm instinctively going for chalk, but Mandy's gonna grab her little chalk and go with it. Oh no, you can't even see it. Oh no. Okay, so we have gas, we have the pocket knife, we have the pickaxe. Let's search here. We have the chalk. Now, do I get provisions or do I just get a 2, 4, 6, 7, or do I just get another gasoline? I think I get another gasoline, right? So provisions would just be for 1 trauma. Which, getting a 3rd physical trauma might be a little too rough. Geez. Because I can start a scenario with a couple less resources. Because I can generate resources pretty quickly. I think... Geez. I know one of the scenarios you need gas twice, so we're gonna take 2 gases. Gasoline times 2. Alrighty, and I think that is it for the resupply point. Yep. And then we would go into Boundary, but unfortunately that is gonna have to wait for another day. All right, well, guys, I really appreciate you coming in to watch today's game. It was a bit of a doozy, I would say. This whole Pendant of the Queen nonsense is really starting to get out of hand here. I would be surprised if every game wasn't similar to that. I think we've found a pretty consistent deck. Trying to think. 8 experience is a lot to spend. I'm thinking we'll probably get another Studious, and with the other 5 experience, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I know we talked about potentially taking out the what was that card? No Stone Unturned, but I'm kind of thinking about, yeah, Decipher Reality could be really good. I'd also thought about potentially putting in a copy of Bow. Huh, nice. Oh man, that scenario's brutal. I really want to play that again sometime. Off camera I've been doing a Return to Dunwich run with Dexter. That's been fun. Dexter's a really fun investigator to play. I'm excited for him to actually be properly released. You European folks have had the pleasure of playing him already, I guess, though. But oh, I know, that's where I've been playing him. I've been playing him on TTS, but unfortunately the novella is not out in America yet, so have to wait on that front. But I think that's gonna do it. We'll be on Discord chatting about the various upgrade paths that we could go into the deck, but I think that's gonna do it. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out a lot. And if you want to stay up to date when these videos go live, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But that's going to do it for today. Thanks, guys, for watching, and have a great rest of your day.